All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. In this one, we're going to be going over how we were able to make $1,200 today day trading in the stock market. Now, we were at highs of 3.2, I believe. So we've definitely gave back a lot. We gave back about 60% of our gains today, which wasn't ideal, but we understand from time to time they will happen, right? It's something that happens to us. So, as usual, to start the day, we did have stocks on the watch list via Momo Pro and the discovery section down here. You guys will see stocks like DATS, HOTH, and a couple other hot stocks, SPI, and so forth. So, shout out to Momo Pro, for providing that watch list for us. So, as usual, right? As usual, after we have our watch list compiled, it all comes down to the technicals, the patterns, the edges, level two, time and sales, understanding where to get into the stocks and how to position ourselves. So let's go to our main stock of the day, and then we'll work our way through. So we'll start off with HOTH, and then we'll work our way down here. So HOTH, just for some quick context here, this one started off around 85 cents or so pre-market, pushed all the way up to 202, and then was consolidating sideways for some time coming into the open. So the hope for this one was, hey, can we see a uptrend and a retest of the pre-market high? And that's exactly what we ended up getting around the 10 a.m. time frame. So in terms of pattern pre-market, we had this giant bull flag here, right? So we had the move up, and then we had the sideways consolidation. It's always the same. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? In this case, we of course went up. And so, break of key levels such as the pre-market highs and, us flagging into that area right here, giving another pullback an opportunity to get in as the stock then went higher, and then it ranks and repeat, right? So this climbing motion here, pull back this time a little bigger, but again held up and curled up off of the V shape red to green. So again, and I say this in the recaps almost all the time, a lot of the patterns that we look for are somewhat famous global patterns. And even on the bull flag here, you can still see a bit of an ABCD, another pattern that you guys will have heard of many times before. But what's unique about how we trade and how we trade these patterns is our approach, in that we're taking hundreds of trades, scalping the areas, hyper scalping the areas, molecularly scalping, atomically scalping, right? The areas. And so you guys will see my log here for today. This is just today, where some people might take 1 to 10 trades a day. If I take 10 trades on a day, it's like, I might as well have not even shown up, right? So you guys will see how aggressive I am in terms of actively getting in and out, and you guys can see some size behind the trades as well. And I'm, working the areas over and over, looking for a few cents at a time with very tight stops. And so if we're to zoom in at the 1 minute time frame, we'll get a better look at how things played out here. So as mentioned, we were consolidating around about 150. We pushed up to the pre-market highs around 220, and that's where we had our first major pullback here off those highs. So in this area, I'm watching for lower levels. We initially had a low of 95. Stock did break down below that to 84. I'm watching all of these areas here, positioning myself and looking to ride the wave back up, especially when we start to then get the uptrend again. So getting in for small trades, and I did hold longer in some key pullbacks, but in the uptrend, definitely was working it. So for example, right here, we had a high of 210 and then a small baby pullback right here to a low of $2. This is an example of an area where I'm actively getting in and out. So I'll be in for break of two, taking a couple of cents, 5 cents, 8 cent trade, back into $2, selling back up there 208, 210, another 5-10 cents, and I'm working the area over and over and over. Then the stock then pushes up to 239. From 239, dips down to a low of 25. From 25, rips back up to 56, and I'm back in again working these areas. We get another consolidation. We ranks, we repeat, we ranks, and we repeat until this thing got all the way up to 380. Now, I will say at one point I started to have some trouble. I got a little too frustrated. I started calling the stock names, which is just never good. And so I was trying to pull myself back into frame and to stay focused. And as I was getting ready to do that, right in this consolidation here, I was just a little too distracted, and mentally I wasn't where I needed to be to properly dominate on this second, or let's say this last hurrah right here up to 380. So I essentially missed out this entire stretch here, which wasn't good. But all in all, we made money on it, which was the biggest thing. I think at our highs on the stock, we were up maybe 2.8, maybe 3K. But that was HOTH. And so other than that, there were a few others. So at the very end of the live stream on stock, which one was that? Let's just double check at the log here. At the end of the live stream, I lost money on DATS, which is just this was a little disappointing. And you know, looking back at this stock, it ended up doing so well. The reason I didn't trade the entire day today is because I gave back so much money, right? If I was able to, you know, sustain myself and keep pushing higher, I would have traded the entire day. But at the very end of the live stream, there was this pattern right here. Let's just zoom in a little on the chart so we get a better view. We had this pattern right here. So another bit of an ABCD, right? Let's see. I think it was this one. So we have our W. It's not, you know, the cleanest one here, but we have our W and our initial low, our higher low. You know, we have high of day up here, right? High of day is up, it is up here, and the stock then starts to pull back. And this pullback, I thought we had a good chance at bottoming out. So people on the live stream, I looked at the end of the trade, people like, oh, Relentless, please don't do it, which I find hilarious because anything that I'm ever doing on this stream is part of my strategy. It's like telling me, hey, Relentless, never show up and trade. It's like kind of ridiculous, but I get it, right? You know, the people don't want to see me take a loss, which is understandable. I don't want myself to take a loss, but you know, as long as it's in the confines of my strategy, I have no problem. So I was thinking though, we'd see a tight red to green, and I started to accumulate shares right here in this candlestick. I took on the bulk of my position right here, thinking we'd make a new low by a small amount, consolidate right here. So what's happening here, I'm literally thinking is going to happen here. And then, hey, this thing is then going to curl slowly back up. Now, right idea, my timing was a little off. And so because I was in with an average of 17, I sold my position and I re-averaged at 06. Now, this is a much better average. And if it was my first position, there's no way I would have gotten stopped out, even at these lows. But because I already took a loss, I started to then second guess the trade a little bit. And so I stopped out at the low of the candle here at 96 for a 10-cent loss after re-averaging lower from 17. So I ended up losing 20 cents in this area, which I didn't love. So that's how I ended up red here, about 700 on this stock. But again, you know, if my analysis was a little bit better, or I did average a little lower in the first place, I would have been long right here. And my target, I said one of two things. If this stock is strong, we can see it, we can retest high of day. If it's not strong, then we probably just get up from 3 up to maybe 325, which was the high of this area, 327, and then maybe it comes back down. And it did come back down. So this stock, for me to have done well, I would have had to be here like watching it. Like if this had came at 9 a.m. rather than, you know, 10:30, well, what was this, like 11:30 when I'm ready to leave? If this is at 9 a.m., I'm pretty sure I'd have done great on this. Even after this loss, this is a scratch trade loss for what ended up happening on the stock, right? Which was, it ended up holding here, retesting the highs, and then just over time, again, you know, all of our patterns here playing out, bull flag into new highs, pullback wedge, new highs, red to green here, and then new highs. So we definitely could have done well on this one, but you know, it was all part of the deal. That was the ATS. And then we lost on SPI, which was another strong stock. So after the live stream, I did take a bit of a break, a 15-minute break. And when I saw this one, I got involved here, somewhere here in this area. And I got blazed, man. Like, I took what I thought was two great trades. Or actually, let's put on the show trade. I might be wrong about where I took the trades. Hold on. SPI. I need to look at it on E-Trade, where I can see the halt levels. Yeah, I saw it here. Right, I saw it here, and then I believe I watched it even up till this area. I took two small. I even watched it up to here. I took two decent trades, like two solid trades, and both of them were break even. But in both trades, I got filled like 4 cents higher, despite having a tight spread. And I'm like, why did I lose $600 here? And the stock didn't even move in the areas I bought. So I just told myself, hey, you know what? You're late to this thing. You lost 700 here. You are losing another 600. I kind of didn't really stick around. I'm like, that, you know what? I was like, that's it. I gave back too much anyways. From 3K to 1200. Before you know it, I hit the buy button again, down another 600. It's like, yeah, okay, let's walk away with our gains. So that's kind of how the day went here. And if the fills weren't so bad on those first two trades, I would have stuck around and traded this one. But I kind of hit my max, haircut of the day and have to step away. So, green is good. Tomorrow again. I do want to say big shout out in the chat to two of our big heavy hitter traders, two of the team house guys. They don't usually post. Well, Save, shout out to Save. He always posts, but some of the other guys, Crispy, a little bit more private these days. I do have to say shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the two big heavy hitter traders in the team house. Crispy, Crispy, this is normal numbers for him. Again, he doesn't usually post, but, shout out to Crispy Trades getting it done. And then Save, the monster, another team house trader. These guys today went insane, man. As you guys can see, those gains are extraordinary gains right there. Those two guys getting it done, man. Shout out to the team house trader. Shout out to the chat room. But yeah, just a quick touch there. I got to go. I got to head out of here. So that'll do it for me. Remember, though, that day trading is, of course, risky. My results are not typical. The results of our chat room members and team house members, our students, are not typical. So keep that in mind. Utilize 10 shares in a small cash account, 1 share, 10 shares, 20 shares. Practice, improve before putting a lot of money on the line. Other than that, remember, copy trading does not work on this channel. And lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers, so be careful of fake accounts. I will never message you first. With that being said, it's been Relentless. Hit that thumbs up on the way out, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another good day. Stay safe, stay green.